Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to a great concert once again here at Gardiner Spring Auditorium. I'm Alan Wapner, proud to be one of your councilmen here, and I'm working here with my brother, the other Alan. It's the Alan and Alan show. You know, Gabe brings us back every year so we can do this thing. Anyway, tonight's show is being sponsored by Chuck and Pam Feister, and Chuck and Patty were both graduates of Chaffey High School. I'm not going to say 1948. You don't want anybody to know how old you are now. 1948. And longtime residents Ontario and San Antonio Heights. David.
Alan. Hi, I am David Allen. It says so right in the script. I'm going to be co-hosting along with Alan this evening as the show band honors the music and memory of composer Burt Bacharach, who passed away at the age of 94 on February 8th, 2023. I'm going to occasionally deviate from the script and drop in maybe a Bacharach song title now and then if I can work it in naturally. Will it work out? I'll say a little prayer. The history of popular music consists of a handful of super talents. The list includes Jerome Kern, Cole Porter, Harold Arlen, George Gershwin, Johnny Mercer, Henry Mancini, and the great teams of Rodgers and Hammerstein, Lerner and Lowe, George and Ira Gershwin, John Lennon and Paul McCartney, Elton John and Bernie Taupin, Gary and Sue Ovett, and Burt Bacharach and Hal David.
Oh, okay. Burt Bacharach, we all love him, don't we? We all grew up with him. Bacharach was a composer, songwriter, pianist, and record producer who's widely regarded as one of the most important, influential figures of the 20th century. Starting in the 50s, he composed hundreds of pop songs, many in collaboration with lyricist Hal David. Bacharach arranged, conducted, and produced much of his recorded output. Remarkably, over 1,000 different artists recorded his songs. Crazy, huh? He's really good.
In 1957, lyricist Hal David met Burt Bacharach at famous music publishers in the Brill Building in New York City. Think how history might have changed if they had walked on by. The two teamed up and wrote their first hit, The Story of My Life, recorded by Marty Robbins in 1957. Subsequently, in the 1960s and early 1970s, Bacharach and David wrote some of the most enduring songs in American popular music, many for Dionne Warwick, but also for the Carpenters, Dusty Springfield, B.J. Thomas, Gene Pitney, Tom Jones, Jackie DeShannon, and many others.
So I was admiring the on screen there. Bacharach and David's success came at a difficult time for pop composers. The 50s and 60s was a period of splintered musical taste that included rock, acid rock, bubblegum music, soul, funk, folk, and country. However, the Bacharach-David team was able to endure due to the perfect marriage of David's creative lyrics and Bacharach's innovative music. Their songs featured stories with deep feeling, catchy melodies, and musical phrases, lush harmonies with unusual chord progressions influenced by Bacharach's experience in classical music and jazz.
Of course, that perfect marriage eventually fell apart with a Mexican divorce. No. Composer John Brimhall stated that the songwriting team built their success upon the foundations of poetic excellence, musical originality, and marriage of word and music. Grammy Award-winning vocalist Dionne Warwick shared that their songs have a personality of their own, and these men and their songs have been the very best friends I've ever had. I guess that's what friends are for. We begin our program with a medley of Bacharach-David hit songs that includes Promises, Promises, Make It Easy on Yourself, and I Say a Little Prayer. It is now my pleasure to introduce show band director Dr. Gabe Petroselli and the outstanding musicians of the Ontario Chaffey Community Show Band as they perform Burt Bacharach and Hal David's song medley.
You know, Burt Bacharach wrote a lot of scores for a lot of movies. I know it brings back memories for me. I'm sure it does for you as well. It's really nice to hear all this music today, reminding us of that. In '68, Bacharach and David wrote a pop song for Dionne Warwick that became her biggest international hit to that point, selling several million copies worldwide and winning Warwick her first Grammy Award. David's lyrics tell the story of a native of San Jose who, having failed to break into the entertainment field in LA, is set to return to her hometown. Please join me in giving Assistant Director Dave Schaffsman a warm show band welcome as he conducts the band in Do You Know the Way to San Jose?
Here's an obvious question. If she wanted to go to San Jose, wouldn't she just go to ONT? Bacharach's 1965 film score to What's New Pussycat generated several hit songs. One was recorded by Dionne Warwick and became the title of an album produced by Bacharach. The album was a success. However, as a single, the song did not make the top 40. Nevertheless, the melody is captivating. The ballad will be played as a tenor saxophone solo featuring Assistant Director Pat Arnold. Please welcome Pat to center stage as he performs Here I Am. And there he is.
Wonderful. Okay, our special guest artist this evening is the talented and gifted jazz pianist, vocalist, composer, and educator, Amy Nolte. Amy's made a name for herself with her extensive YouTube channel, which boasts over 1,000 educational and entertaining videos. She has over 250,000 subscribers. Amy's in high demand as a clinician and performer. She just returned from teaching at the Victor Wooten's Theory Camp in Tennessee. She's thrilled to be in the company of our show band once again. Amy.
Why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, they long to be close to you. Why do stars fall down from the sky every time you walk by? Just like me, they long to be close to you. On the day that you were born, the angels got together and decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkled dust in your hair, golden starlight in your eyes of blue. And that is why all the girls in town follow you all around. Just like me, they long to be close to you. Decided to create a dream come true. So they sprinkle moon dust in your hair and golden starlight in your eyes of blue. And that is why all the girls in town follow you all around. Just like me, they long to be close to you. Just like me, they long to be close to you. Why close to you? Why close to you? Close to close to you.
And by the way, Close to You, of course, was by the Carpenters from 1970, became their first song to reach the top 10. Now, Burt Bacharach wrote the score for the 1969 film Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. We all know this movie, right? It's a Western. As I recall from watching this movie, there were trains, but there were no boats or planes. This movie won an Oscar. This won an Oscar for the Best Original Song and Best Original Score. In the title song, the uplifting lyrics by Hal David describe somebody who overcomes his troubles and worries by realizing that it won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. The single was recorded by B.J. Thomas and reached #1. Sit back in your comfortable Gardiner Spring chairs and enjoy Amy's rendition of Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head.
Raindrops keep falling on my head, and just like the guy whose feet were too big for his bed, nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops keep falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun. I said I didn't like the way he got things done, sleeping on the job. Those raindrops keep falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they sent to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. comes up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, 'cause I am never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. Nothing's worrying me. Nothing's worrying me.
Thank you. Thank you, Amy. Our next selection is a pretty ballad written by Bacharach and David for the 1964 film of the same name. The song was first recorded by Dionne Warwick, but did not gain popularity until Luther Vandross's version in 1981. Tonight, Dr. Petrocelli is featured on the keyboards in A House Is Not a Home. The show band will be conducted by Assistant Director Pat Arnold.
Just a few words. I go way back with Burt, but I go farther back with Dionne Warwick. And we come from the same town, went to the same high school, went to the same conservatory. And after all these years, I finally got to meet her, thanks to my wife, Susan. I walked right by her. We were over at the canyon, and she finally said, hey, that's Dionne Warwick. And so I chatted with her for a while, and her face, I don't think since she's been in California, anybody went up there and said, did you go to East Orange High School? That's about 12 miles west of New York City. And it's a small town. And didn't you go to the University of Hartford? And all of that. So why I'm telling you this story is because it was through listening to Dionne, because she went to my high school and all of this, that I became acquainted with Burt Bacharach. And I soon began to follow him, and he became an enormous influence on my musical career. And in 1967, I was 7 years old, and there was a special on TV with Burt Bacharach music, and one of the tunes he did was A House Was Not a Home. Now, I'm not going to be cruel this evening and try to sing it. He sang it. I'm just going to play it on the piano, okay? So I hope you like it.
That was great, Gabe. Very nice. Okay, Gary, you ready? Now it's my pleasure to introduce the president of the Show Band Friends and my good friend, Gary Ovitt.
Well, good evening. It's great to be back, is it not? A house is not a home. Well, Gardiner W. Spring Auditorium is not what it used to be because you weren't here. But now that you're back, it is a home. So that didn't make much sense. I'm sorry. I need to work on my repertoire a little better. Anyway, we're delighted to have you back. It's a beautiful evening and fantastic music. Hopefully it's bringing back a lot of memories for you. I can remember my wife and I in San Diego on the Bay listening to Dionne Warwick and Burt Bacharach. It was fantastic. We'd like to give thanks to our much-deserved show band production team. Their hardworking support staff includes librarians Miriam Keith, Gary Keith, Bill Bescaby, Pat Arnold, and Crystal Leonard, as well as the band manager, Bob Mattis, and assistant band manager, Steve Collins, and a lot of other folks who make the equipment to appear on the stage, and so they carry it up, and that we appreciate. Homero Chavez is our show band stage manager and also our audio technician. And we also would like to thank Magnolia Video Productions, the City of Ontario, the Inland Valley Daily Bulletin, and Chaffey Adult School for their involvement and support of our program. Lithographer Scott Noble works for the district and does a wonderful job designing and producing our concert program. And special birthday wishes go out tonight to our show band musicians, Kathy Soderlin and Jose Padilla, as well as guests, Tina Collins and Cheryl Freeberg. So let's give them all a hand, if we will.
Al Bowling.
Is it Al's? Oh, and Al Bowling's birthday as well. Al? 45, huh? As well, our hospitality team that's out there that works so hard to make sure you get those cookies and coffee. Ruby Levitt, Robin Denegri, and John Hart. If any of you are interested in joining them out there and being hospitable, you can do that as well. We'd love to have that happen. The generosity of the Chuck and Patty Pfister family for sponsoring our program tonight. We really appreciate them. And of course, we always appreciate those of you who want to become show sponsors and donors, and they are listed on the back of the program. I've got mine right here. I think I've got the musicians to you, though. There we go. Anyway, we would love to have any of you who would like to support our show band by sponsoring one of our concerts. As well, we'd love for you to get to know the Hungry Tuba. He's a real personable guy, and he'd love to have you come by and see him and drop off something green. He's a vegetarian, as I've mentioned before. Tonight we have some wonderful people who have come and graced us with their presence. We want to say thank you to, first of all, Alan Wapner, council member for the City of Ontario, who's been involved in it for quite a long time and has shown a lot of good results for all of us. As well, we have Jim Milheiser, the city treasurer for the City of Ontario, and also the treasurer for the Friends of the Ontario Chaffey Community Show Band. We have a trustee from Chaffey Joint Union High School District, my wife, Sue Ovitt. We have to come together. We also have from Cucamonga School District, Eric Montague. Eric, thank you for being here tonight, and a teacher at Chaffey High School. We have G. Michael Milheiser from Monte Vista Water District. He's the director for the Monte Vista Water District. Thank you, G. Michael. We have the man that makes it all happen, lets us come in here, and that's Dr. Matthew Holton, the the superintendent for the Chaffey Joint Union High School District. Thank you, Matt. His assistant superintendent, Kerno Duro, and of course, Al Bowling, who we just wished happy birthday to. Al's on the Friends of the Ontario Chaffey Community Show Band, as well as Gary Keith, who is our secretary, and Finally, someone who is on this, the show band sponsors the Diamond, and that is Richard Ortiz, who has been very, very supportive and very generous to us. Thank you, Richard, for all you do. With that in mind, I know it's time to get back and enjoy the rest of the concert.
I'll Never Fall in Love Again was composed by Bacharach and David for the 1968 musical Promises, Promises. And you know, I thought I'll Never Fall in Love Again was composed for Elizabeth Taylor. But I guess I was wrong. Several recordings of the song were released in 1969. The most popular versions were by Dionne Warwick and Bobby Gentry. An interesting sidelight to the song, the musical's producer David Merrick decided that the middle of the second act needed a song. At the time, Bacharach was hospitalized with pneumonia. So Hal David wrote out the lyrics, and when Bacharach was able to sit up and write at the piano, he recalled, "I wrote the melody for I'll Never Fall in Love Again faster than I had ever written any song in my life." His effort paid off because the song became a showstopper. It's my pleasure to introduce musician and conductor George Osorio to the podium as he conducts the show band in this Bacharach David favorite.
Thank you.
The show band's second medley of the evening features 3 songs from Bacharach's film scores. Included are What's New Pussycat, composed in 1965, Alfie from 1966, and that will be featuring an alto saxophone solo by show band musician Francisco Moet, and Casino Royale, composed in 1967, recorded by Herb Albert and the Tijuana Brass. Let's have a round of applause for the talented musicians of the show band as they perform a Bacharach movie suite. Arthur's theme, Best That You Can Do, composed by Burt Bacharach and co-written and performed by American singer-songwriter Christopher Cross, was the main theme for the 1981 film Arthur, starring Dudley Moore and Liza Minnelli. The song won an Oscar for Best Original Song in 1981 and reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The tenor saxophone solo will be played by Pat Arnold and the show band conducted by David Grasmick. Please give Pat and David a nice round of applause in this show band's arrangement of Arthur's theme.
I haven't slipped a Bacharach David song title in the last couple of introductions, despite my promises that I would do that. You want to go back to doing that? Or were you wishing and hoping I would stop? Amy returns to perform a beautiful Bacharach David ballad originally popularized by English pop singer Dusty Springfield in the 1967 film Casino Royale. The song soon became very popular and was recorded by many artists in both vocal and instrumental versions. According to Bacharach, the sensual melody was inspired by watching actress Ursula Andress in an early cut of the film. There was a reason that she was nicknamed Ursula Undress. Let us welcome back Amy as she sings The Look of Love.
It's in your eyes, the love your heart can't disguise. The look of love is saying so much more than just words would ever say. What my heart has heard, well, it takes my breath away. I can hardly wait to hold you, feel my arms around you. How long I have waited just to love you, and now that I have found you, you've got the look of love. It's on your face, the love that time can't erase. Be mine tonight. Let this be just the start of so many nights like this. Let's make a lover's vow and then seal it with a kiss. I can hardly wait to hold you, feel my arms around you. How long I have waited just to love you. Now that I have found you, don't ever go. feel my arms around you. How long I have waited just to love you. Now that I have found you, don't ever go. Don't ever go. I love you so. I love you so.
You know, David, you're a great columnist. As a comedian, folks, he tries hard. He does. Stick to your writing. Amy's final number was written by...
Never trust a politician.
You don't fight when someone has all the ink. The final number was written by Bacharach and Carol Bayer-Sager. It was first recorded in 1982 by Rod Stewart for the soundtrack of the film Night Shift, but it's better known for the 1985 version by Dionne Warwick, Elton John, Gladys Knight, and Stevie Wonder. That recording, billed as being by Dionne Warwick and Friends, was released as a charity single for AIDS research and prevention. It was a massive hit, becoming the #1 single of 1986 in the US and winning the Grammy Awards for Best Pop Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals and Song of the Year. It raised over $3 million for its cause. Sit back and enjoy Amy's version of That's What Friends Are For.
And I never thought I'd feel this way. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad I got the chance to say that I do believe I love you. And if I should ever go away, well then close your eyes and try to feel the way we do today. And then if you can remember, keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me for sure. That's what friends are for. In good times and bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. Well, you came and opened me, and now there's so much more I see. And so, by the way, I thank you. Oh, and then for the times when we're apart, well, then close your eyes and know these words are coming from my heart. And then if you can remember, oh, keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me for sure. That's what friends are for good times and bad times. I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. friends are for. Keep smiling and keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, that's what friends are for good times and bad times. I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for.
Testing, yes. I'm going to race through some of these because it's getting late. I do want to thank these wonderful musicians behind me, the greatest show band in all the land. I want to thank Gary and the friends for their unwavering support. They make this, make it possible for us to do our business. Sue, thank you for all your assistance. I want to thank Dennis Skip Sampson for having David Allen and myself on his radio program this morning. I thought it was Skip is really a professional and does a fantastic job. We got to talk a little bit about Dionne Warwick and Burt Bacharach. I was very pleased. I want to thank our absolutely distinguished narrators. Councilman Alan Wapner, newspaper columnist David Allen. Thank you, gentlemen. Our talented conductors, David Shaftsman, Pat Arnold, David Grasmick, and George Osorio. Stand up, gentlemen. Also, Francisco Mowat, our soloist. Pat Arnold. And the absolutely amazing Amy Nolte. Amy, come out, take a bow. Love you. Is she amazing or what? Love you. She is such an outstanding musician and educator. I do have a few sad notes, and as you can see, there's a chair there. And I just want to use a metaphor of a song. And I think all of us every living being is born with a song. And the only difference is the number of verses that you have allotted to you. And unfortunately, our videographer passed away today. And if you know that Tim Greenwood was associated with the show band for well over 20 years. So I would like you to have Karen, his wife, and the Greenwood family in your thoughts and prayers. We'll certainly miss him, and that's what that chair is about. On a happier note, the show band's next performance will be in Gardiner Spring Auditorium, right here on Monday, October 23rd. Don't miss it. Ritmo de la Noche. We're going to feature Vicky Shell, a tremendous vocalist, Dr. George Matamata, who's my boss and principal, and the very renowned percussionist Homero Chavez. Take a bow, Homero. I don't know if George, are you here tonight? Okay, well, if George is not here, I want to say hello to Dan Freeberg. Dan, where are you? Okay, Dan, thank you for coming. Dan was George's teacher over at Fontana High School, and he's my very good friend. So finally, I want to thank you for your patience tonight, and we're going to close with the most appropriate song. Go ahead, Alan.
Thanks, Gabe. We conclude our tribute to the music of Burt Bacharach with a song that is most appropriate for the times in which we live. It was written by Bacharach and David in 1965, first recorded and made popular by the singer Jackie DeShannon. It peaked at number 7 on the U.S. Hot 100 and reached number 1 in Canada. Bacharach revealed in his 2014 autobiography that this song had among the most difficult lyrics Hal David had ever written. He explained that they had the main melody and chorus written back in 1962, but it took another 2 years for David to finally come up with the lyric, "Lord, we don't need another mountain." Once David worked out the verses, Bacharach said the song essentially wrote itself and they finished it in a day or two. I think that we can all agree that title and message in this song is timeless. What the world needs now. Join me in a rousing round of applause for the outstanding musicians of the Ontario Chaffey Community Show Band.
Thank you. Thank you, Alan. This concert's being dedicated to Tim Greenwood and the Greenwood family. So, again, please keep him in your prayers and thoughts.
On behalf of Dr. Petrocelli and the entire show band family, and Alan and I, thank you for attending this evening's special concert. Why does the band do it? Why do they show up month after month? Because they long to be close to you. See you October 23rd.